I taught high school. And then in 1979, the hostages were taken in Iran. And every morning as I would get ready and get dressed and shave, and I would listen to the radio. And every single day I would listen for developments about what was going on in the Middle East, what was happening in Iran. I wanted to know more about Muslim fundamentalism. And then I would take it into my classes. And my students knew that, in fact, if they hadn't read Hemingway or Willa Cather or whatever we were doing that day, all they would have to do was ask me a question about Ayatollah Khomeini or what was happening in Iran, and the next thing, we would spend 50 minutes talking about the Middle East. After a few months of that, it occurred to me that maybe, in fact, I really wanted to talk about news, and I wanted to be involved in gathering news. It was a calling, and I view it still as a calling. Journalism is a bridge. In some ways, global news is covered like a sporting event, as opposed to actual lives that are lived. And I also ask, since the earthquake in Japan, how often has an American news audience actually seen follow-up coverage about what's happened in Japan and about how lives are being lived and about how people are trying to mitigate that disaster? Since the Arab Spring, how much have we seen about the nascent democracy in Egypt and hiccups that are coming along the way? And the truth is, we don't see that much of it. But when something goes wrong, that coverage will pick up. That's not good enough. That's not good enough in our world, because that's not enough information to help us make decisions about our own lives. Because the world has gotten smaller, news, information, little ripples that may happen far, far away, they have impact on our world. Part of why I became interested in Link TV is because Link TV provides a platform for voices around the world to actually explain their world in their own voice. In mainstream media, those voices are filtered. There is a presenter, there is an American reporter who certainly does the best job they know how to do to go out and gather information, but then that information gets processed through that reporter's eyes and through the eyes of the editors in New York. And trust me, I've been in on that process. I've been one of those gatekeepers, and I know that the events that happen in the world, they are represented as responsibly as those people know how to do, but it's not the same as hearing it firsthand from the people who are living those lives and who are gathering that information in their own countries. This is part of what Link provides. At a time when so much of our news is filtered, when so much of what we end up seeing on television has gone through the great homogenizers who homogenize experience worldwide, this was a breath of fresh air. And that's what I thought. I got to be involved with that. 5 years from now, I think Link TV will be more powerful. It will be in more places than where it is today. It will be on iPads, tablets, cell phones, smartphones, and probably in delivery systems that haven't even been invented yet. But we will be able to provide news clips, documentary footage, content from filmmakers that help us to understand our world and give us strategies for coping in that world. Things that you can take with you anywhere you want to go and share with all your friends. Link TV has harnessed the power of semantic search and applied it to video. So in essence, when you're watching a piece of video, you can search and connect to a vast amount of information that's out there on the web. You can find news clips and you can find documentary film that actually gives you greater value, greater information. And this is revolutionary. There's a lot of talk about change, but not necessarily access to avenues to create change. When television can empower its viewers to actually participate and potentially find ways to help to make social change, that's a breakthrough.